So if you clicked on this video, that means that you're already interested in learning how to start or grow a personal brand. And before we get into all this fun stuff over here, I want to give you further reason as to why right now is the time to do exactly that. Because in the past few weeks, I'm sure you have seen the influx of AI influencers. And as annoying as that may be, it actually creates the perfect opportunity for people who are wanting to build real and authentic brands. Because in the next 12 months, the AI creators are going to triple. But what that's going to do is create a demand even stronger for real creators just like you. Because the truth is no robot or any other human for that fact can talk about life the way that you talk about life. No one else has had your exact life experiences, the way that you view the world, your skills, and who you are. No one can ever replicate you. You are literally 1 in 7 billion, however many people are on the earth. So all that we really need to do is learn how to extract the value in the lessons and turn it into content. The value in the lessons from your personal life experiences, your skills, all of that fun stuff. So today, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about, because building a personal brand isn't just about making money or creating freedom for yourself or location freedom. It's really also about being able to give back to others, because even if you don't do a personal brand kind of like mine, where it's like motivational content and things like that, you even creating joy in people's lives or talking about what you have gone through or how you have learned things is also giving back to people. Because I believe as humans, we're not just here to create a beautiful life for ourselves, but we're also here to give back to the other people. And having a personal brand creates the most beautiful opportunity to do exactly that. So with that being said, today we're going to be covering the 5 steps to start and grow your personal brand. So first we have getting clear on your values and passions. And then we're going to be covering going through your lived inventory, your brand type and lane. Can you even see this? Is it focusing? I'm just going to back up. Okay. Content. And then lastly, monetization, because of course we want to turn your personal brand into income. We don't want to look at this just like being influencers or posting pretty pictures or aesthetic videos. Like, we want to look at this like business owners, and we also want to look at this in the long run, because truly you can turn a personal brand into a freaking empire. We don't want to think short term here. We want to think the long game, because truly you can create something so beautiful just by having a personal brand. So with that being said, let's get started first on values and passions. I'm going to be erasing this and then writing things on the board, so I don't take a few extra minutes to just be writing things down and erasing things. It's going to waste time, so I'll be right back. Just kidding. I forgot to do an introduction of who I am and why you should even listen to me. Hi, my name is Izzy Andrews, and welcome to my channel, Creality, if you are new here. My YouTube channel and all my other platforms are focused around truly teaching people how to create their own reality. And the reason that this is my content is because around 2 years ago, the point that I was within my life is a point that I don't believe anyone should feel stuck in, because I was depressed, I had anxiety all the time, and I just constantly felt as though life was happening to me instead of from me. And it took me going through the hardest thing I have ever faced in my life to finally have kind of like an awakening. I finally realized that the way I had been living life couldn't be the way that I continued life. So I got super into understanding the subconscious mind, how reality works, how the universe works, and all of that fun stuff. And now the point of my channel is to just teach other people what it is that I have learned, because I genuinely feel as though we came to Earth to create something. And so many people feel as though they are just stuck where they are, and that's how it has to be forever. And I'm here to inspire people that that's not how it has to be. And a little bit more about my channel. In a little bit under a year, I was able to grow my followers across all channels to 80,000 followers. And even though I'm not a mega huge personal brand yet with millions of followers, on the outside, in my mind it's already there, I have been able to turn this into a full-time income for myself that allows me to have time, location freedom, and also just freedom in general. I'm my own boss, and I get to wake up doing what it is that I love every single day. And I genuinely feel as though every single person should also be able to do that. And I think building a personal brand is one of the best ways to actually achieve that. So with that being said, now I will be right back, and I'm going to put some new information up on the board. So when we first start curating what our personal brand is going to be focused around, we want to get really crystal clear on the values and the passions that we have within life. And the reason that we want to get clear on values values first? It's because you want to make sure that your values are reflected into your content, because our personal brand isn't just built off virality or chasing the trends, it's built off intentionality, because this is what's going to help your brand last long term. And up on the screen, I'm going to show here a bunch of different values, and what I want you to do is choose your top 5 values that are going to be reflected into your content. Because you see, if we go against our values in our content just so we can hop on the newest trend, or we can pretend to be someone else for all the wrong reasons, what's going to happen is you're going to start naturally having a sort of an internal conflict. You're going to feel as though that's not truly who you are, so you're going to not feel very confident in your videos, and also people are going to be able to recognize that. Like, have you ever been scrolling and you go past a video and you're like, something about that was off? And that's because they weren't reflecting their true life values within their content. And also, with what I showed up on the screen in the description, I put together an entire free workbook that's going to be going through all the things that I'm talking about, but in a way where you can actually write it down and reference back to it once you start posting. So now let's talk about your passions. After you get super clear on your values, let's go to our passions, because content aside, you want to live a life that is full of what excites you. You don't want to just do things because you feel as though you need to do it. No, you want to do it because you're genuinely passionate about it. So get super clear on what lights up your freaking soul. What could you talk about for hours upon hours, even when no one asked you? And what could you see yourself doing every single day? Because this is going to help you get even clearer on the type of content that you post, but also what you're going to want to build long term when it comes to your content. And if you're thinking, Izzy, well, I'm really passionate about a certain topic, but I'm not an expert in it, so that means I can't build a personal brand about it. Yes, you can. We're going to be covering the different types of personal brands, and you don't always have to position yourself as the authority or the teacher. You can study this passion that you have about yours, whatever topic it is, and come back to your followers with what you have learned. Or you can build in public. You can continue to pursue this passion and show in public how you are building upon that. But we will get to that later. Now, step number 2 is to get super clear on your lived inventory. And I want you to think about this like kind of doing an audit of the story of your life, genuinely running through your life and asking yourself, what are some of the biggest lessons that I've learned? What are some of the biggest skills that I've picked up along the way? What are my unique perspectives in life? And also too, what are the hard and painful moments that I'm going to be able to talk about and also teach lessons from? Because you don't have to be a motivational speaker or target all your content towards helping people go through what it is that you went through, but in different forms of you posting, no matter what the brand lane you decide to go in is, which we'll cover later, you can still be authentic, because that is a pillar of our content. And being authentic attracts real people to follow you, real people to want to invest in you because they know your life story. But you can't share your life story if you never take the time to get super clear on it. So the activity for this, and I'm going to show this chart on the screen really quick. Again, this is in the workbook. And in this activity, you're going to get clear on the 5 life experiences that have genuinely molded you into who you are today. And this doesn't just have to be experiences as in what you've gone through. It could also be what you have learned, like skills that you have picked up along the way. And once you go into this chart, you're going to write down the specific life experience, and then you're going to write what it has taught you, and then what you're going to be able to speak about. This is amazing foundation for what your content's going to be about, the brand type that you choose, and it's going to give you so many different content ideas. I want you to own your story. Own what you have experienced and the unique perspective that you have on life. Because when we show up on the internet and we say, yes, I went through this, this is what I've learned, and this is who I am now, people are gonna be like, whoa, like they really own their shit. You want to truly own who it is that you are, and that must be reflected into your content. And now, if there are some different limiting beliefs that you have around that, or there's some blocks when it comes to sharing your story and truly showing up on the internet, I have an entire different YouTube video talking more about the mindset when it comes to rewiring our subconscious beliefs that are keeping us stuck. This is the video, but also at the end of this YouTube video, it'll be tagged, and you can just click and watch that. So once we've gotten clear on our values and passions, we've gone through the story audit of our life, or AKA lived inventory. What we're now gonna do is choose our brand lane and also get clear on our personal brand type. Because yes, all personal brands are showcasing you and your personality in different ways, but there are major categories, and you'll see what I mean once I actually start explaining it. So first we have the teacher, and now the teacher is when you're actively teaching others through your content. This is when you have a specific skill. This is when you have already maybe built a business, you've already built something, you left a 9-to-5, you dropped out of college, you have steps to reach XYZ goal, and now you are teaching others to do that. And this is the brand type that I fall into, because for me, I have a deep understanding in the subconscious mind and creating reality, and now through my content, this is how I teach others. And now for personal brand type number 2 is the researcher. And this personal brand type is where you're actively learning something and you're researching a certain topic and you're coming back to your followers with your findings. And the person that I'm going to be using for this example is Matt Wolf, which is right here. And now his personal brand, he goes to his audience and says, this is the best and newest AI tool that you could apply to your life and your business. He's actively doing research on a certain topic, and the value that his followers get is that they don't have to go do the research or the digging for themselves. They just go to Matt Wolf's page or your page and they say, oh, awesome, cool, I got updated on that. And Matt Wolf here, from his researcher content, he was able to put together a software that combined all the best AI softwares that he found, and he put it into one platform to now where people can go purchase and buy from him. And we'll be covering the different types of monetizations that you can do. But through all these different personal brand types that I'm going to be naming, all of them are monetizable. And now let's go to the journey taker. And now the journey taker is the kind of brands that say, today is day 1 of me reaching $1 million in my business. Or today is day 1 of me hitting 1 million followers on Instagram. And you actively take your followers through a journey with you. You come back to your followers saying, this is what I've learned, this is the setback that I faced, this is my progress, and you're actively updating your followers on your journey to hit XYZ goal. And the amazing thing about once you hit that goal is then you could turn that into a product or a service or a coaching or a program to then be able to teach others how you actively did the thing that you built in public. And now we have the personality. And now the personality brand type is where you are literally the brand. This is perfect for people who have super big personalities, like you're super funny, you're super troll, maybe you're super dramatic, like people follow you just for you because they genuinely just find happiness or joy in listening to you talk. A perfect example of this personal brand type is Brian the Diamond. I love his content because he's freaking hilarious. And for him, he picks up his phone and he starts yapping about whatever topic it is, and people naturally flock to his page. This kind of brand is perfect for people with super big personalities, or if you have a certain skill, like maybe you're a dancer or you're a singer, this all falls into the category of personality type. And now the next one is the worldly brand. And what I mean by this is that you aren't the face of the brand. You are in the videos and you are in the content, but the focus is around the other people that you are talking to on a specific topic. And the perfect example of this is the House of Hard Knocks. Now, we all know James is the person who founded that platform, but he's not the face of the brand. The people that he interviews and asks billionaires and millionaires the questions on how they made all the money, they are the attraction. And also podcasts, different types of podcasts. Again, you're in the videos, but the value is from the other people teaching your audience. And now let's talk about your brand lane, because once you go through all of this, we want to get super clear on the actual brand land that we are in. Because what this does is it gets you even clear on how you're going to position yourself in the market, on social media. And when you do this, you get super clear on who it is that you're actually talking to, what you actually stand for, and what you represent, what people know you for. Up here on the screen, I'm going to show the 3 questions that you should get clear on when it comes to your brand lane. So you ask yourself, who do I help? What am I known for? And what outcome do I point towards? This is going to help you have so many different content ideas, but it's also going to help you stay within that brand lane. Because if you aren't in a specific brand lane, then your content just becomes random. Someone comes to your page and they're like, I don't even know what the heck this person talks about, what they stand for, and what the value they're giving me even is. There's this one girl that I follow, and she literally would crush it if she just narrowed down a little bit, because she has such a high income skill, but right now her content's all over the place. And that's because She didn't get clear on a brand lane for her. And this isn't to put restrictions on the kind of content that you post, because we are going to be talking about the different types of content to post to grow, but it is going to help you be specific and intentional about what you are posting. And now let's talk about content, because yes, of course, you have to post content to build a personal brand. You got to start freaking posting. And now we're going to talk about different strategies behind actually posting. First, what you're going to do is you're going to identify the 2 primary platforms that you want to be known on. So for me, when I first started, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and Snapchat and LinkedIn and X. And guess how long that lasted me? It didn't last me at all. So what did I do? I was like, okay, let me just backtrack a little bit. Let me just slow my horses. I'm not there yet. And what I chose was YouTube and Instagram as my primary platforms. I originally started off of YouTube, and then I was like, you know what, I also want to grow my Instagram page. So then I started posting consistently on Instagram. And the amazing thing about choosing YouTube and Instagram as your primary platforms is that, or even YouTube and TikTok, when you make long form content, what you can do is you can use this tool right here called Opus Clip. And what this is going to do is it's going to clip your long form content automatically. So all that you have to do is make one long form of content, and then you have a bunch of different clips to post on different platforms. And now what I would recommend for when you're choosing your 2 primary platforms is to do YouTube as one. At least do YouTube for one of your platforms, because YouTube creates an amazing way for people to actually get to know you through your content, and people who are willing to watch long form content are also more willing to invest in whatever product it is that you create. And again, please don't try to post on every single platform when you first start, because what happens is you're pouring your water into a bunch of different cups instead of pouring all of your energy into 2 primary platforms so you can actually see growth in those. Right now, all I really post on is TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. But TikTok didn't come into the combination until I started really getting my YouTube and my Instagram up and running, because I wanted to put my energy into something that was going to be able to grow before I started diversifying. And I highly recommend you to do the same. And when it comes to actually how frequently you post, I recommend posting 3 videos a day. But what I do want to say is that I don't want you to go into this with the mindset of it's going to take me years upon years to actually start getting views, because if you have that belief, naturally what's going to happen is that truth is going to be reflected into your life. Because I genuinely believe when we have beliefs, they will naturally show up, even when we can't even understand why they're happening. So for me, when I first started content, I had this belief that I'm gonna naturally blow up. I'm gonna blow up right off the bat, even though everyone was saying, oh no, YouTube takes so long to grow on, like it's gonna take you so long, don't even try. In my 3rd video in, it blew up. But again, if you want to see more about the beliefs, you can just check out this video on my channel where I go all into depth about that. Because a lot of people know they need to start a personal brand, or they start building a personal brand, but they end up getting caught in the emotional home. They end up getting caught in the familiar patterns, and then their activity drops. And what I want to say to you is that when you first start posting, you do have to be consistent. The algorithm is getting to know your content, and also your followers are getting to know who you are. And I don't want you guys to be discouraged if you start posting and you're not seeing views right off the bat, because consistency beats virality every single time. Because even if you get a 1 million view video and then you never post again, that's gonna mean nothing. But if you stay consistent and you keep posting even when you're getting 100, 200 views, it's gonna add up, and it's going to build something beautiful for yourself. When I first started posting on Instagram my talking videos, I got like 200 to 300 views, but that didn't stop me. Of course that didn't stop me. You gotta keep posting, and you have to be consistent. And the next thing that I wanna talk about is trial reels. If you do choose to go all in on Instagram, which I also recommend, utilize trial reels, because what it does is it pushes out all your content to non-followers. So literally the people who follow you won't see your content, and it's only new eyeballs coming to your page and being attracted to your content. And the awesome thing about trial reels is that you can post different iterations of the same video. What I mean by that is you can change the audio in the background, or you can change the header, and you can keep repurposing it until eventually it starts getting 0 views. Once your trial reels start hitting no views from the same video, that's when you know you've pumped all the gas out of that video and it's time to go to the next one. When you get a viral video, you want to make sure that you get all of the milk out of that video as much as possible. So when a video goes viral, don't post it one time. Go on trial reels and post a bunch of different variations of the same video. For me, there's one video in specific. I think I've posted, I think I've posted 7 of the same exact viral video, and all of them got views. And once it started getting no views, I was like, okay, I milked it on for too long. It's time to cut it. And now what I want to talk about is actually the type of content buckets to post. Because no matter what brand lane you choose to do, you want to make sure that's not all the content that you are posting. Because again, with a personal brand, people have to get to know you. People gotta get to, unless you're doing the worldly brand, again, that's all in other people. But all the other ones, people wanna get to know you, because in order for people to later invest in you when you monetize, they gotta know who you are, what you stand for, what you've been through, and all of that fun stuff. So in the different content buckets, the first form of content that we wanna make sure that we're posting at least once every single week, all of these are once every single week, okay? So we have authenticity. This is where you are being real and authentic, and you're talking about something and you're just being honest. Don't script out these videos, please, because what you're doing is, first of all, you're not building upon the skill of communicating, but you're not even being freaking authentic. Let yourself talk, and you can edit it and you can get better upon time, better as time goes on. And now the next one is vulnerability. This is where you actively go online, you say, this is what I'm struggling through. This is what I'm struggling with right now. And I just wanted to come on the internet and share it. People love vulnerability. No one likes a content creator who all they ever do is just flex what they have. Because all that you're doing is you're attracting people who just want to follow you instead of you positioning yourself as a leader. When you share what you're actually going through, even when you hit a downfall, you're positioning yourself as a leader, not someone to just follow because, oh my gosh, look at all their nice cars, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. All right. Next is expertise content / brand type. Now this is where you're posting in alignment with your brand type or your area of expertise. So for me, when it comes to me posting my expertise, this is when I'm talking about the subconscious mind, or when I'm now talking about building a personal brand. And then we have viral content. When you see a trend with like different video clips and with specific audio, what you're gonna do is you're gonna copy that format, but apply it to your brand, your style, and also make sure that it still aligns with your values and stuff. Because again, as I talked about in the beginning, you don't wanna just chase virality, you want to make sure that your brand is built off integrity. So if it's a viral trend that aligns with your kind of content, awesome, hop on it. But for viral content too, this can just be like clipped up videos with audio. So for me, this is an example of a viral content idea. It's not me talking, it's just a bunch of different video clips put together. So these are the different buckets of content that we want to make sure that we're posting at least once a week. So when it comes to talking videos, there's 2 different primary styles. You have these 2 right here. And now this is mine, and this is what the horizontal video with just a header on top. And then you have ones where people are just talking and there's text on the screen and there's a header there too. So it's up to you which one you wanna do. For me, my style performs the best for my content, but there's other creators who just the talking style performs better for them. Right now, I'm trying to incorporate a little bit more of that style because I'm trying to mix up my content a little more and try to play with what I can truly grow with this personal brand. And now let's talk about hooks in your videos. You need to captivate and catch the attention when someone sees your video. If you don't stand out in a certain way, no one's gonna wanna stay to watch your video. So what I want you to do, a little practice I want you to do for understanding hooks better is after you scroll after this video, I want you to scroll intentionally. And what I mean by that is when you are going through TikTok or Instagram and a video, your style that you wanna post catches your eye, you're gonna save that to a collection in your phone called hooks. And when it comes to you creating content, you're gonna ask yourself, what was the structure of the hook that they used? Don't copy the same exact hook they use, but what was the structure? Did they say a fact? Did they ask a question? Did they make a bold statement? And then test the different hooks. Again, the amazing thing about trial reels is that you can test multiple hooks with the same videos and see what performs, and then later iterate off that. Once you start seeing what's working for your content, it's vital that you play off what is working for you. Instead of trying a bunch of new different things, as soon as you see something working, push more of that type of content out. And what I use to edit all my videos is, what can you guess? CapCut, of course. I love CapCut. That's where I put my captions on my videos. That is where I chop everything up. I extract audio and I put it on top of my reels. One thing that I have learned the hard way is that when you are posting on Instagram reels and you use an audio on top of a talking video, if that audio gets taken down, now your talking video has absolutely no audio. And I have viral videos now that have no audio behind them because the audio got taken down. So now what it is that I do is I screen record the audio, I extract it, I put it into CapCut, and then now my talking video has the audio that I want in the background. Now, once we have gone through all the different things that I've talked about, it's time to actually start monetizing your personal brand, because we don't want to think about our brand like an influencer where we're just posting for virality or likes or views. We want to think about our personal brand like a business owner, like you were actively building an empire for yourself. And the awesome thing is that there's so many different ways to actually monetize. So first we're going to start off with one-on-one coaching. And now this is what I was doing for a little bit. I was actively walking clients through a journey on rewiring their subconscious mind to be able to create freedom for themselves so they could actually create the things that they wanted to in life and also build a personal brand through that work. And the only reason that I haven't continued my one-on-one coaching is because I wasn't able to reach as many people as I wanted to. And that is why I switched to a program. You can do one-on-one coaching, or you can have a program, or AKA a course. This is where you are teaching a larger group of people on a certain topic, on a certain skill that you have acquired. And when you set up a program, it's not just a video course. You're also doing coaching calls with people. You're also reviewing people's content if that's your offer, or you're actively helping people grow their business. And the awesome thing about having programs is that you can upsell people to do one-on-one coaching with you. If they're in the program, but they want to work more hands-on with you, you could say, all right, awesome. Let's offer you a one-on-one package. So we have one-on-one coaching, we have a program, and then we also have products. And now this can be digital products like an ebook, or it can also be products like a physical journal that you give someone. If you do embroidery work, it could be you designing something and then sending it to people when they buy it from you. This is where someone is investing in a certain product that you have created. And now again, people are going to want to invest in you if they know who you are, they know what you stand for, and they like you as a person. So they're going to want to buy what it is that you are selling. We also have apps. This is one that I was wrestling with for a little while because I wanted to put together an app that helps you believe in yourself. But for me, it didn't work. It didn't work. Literally, when I first started figuring out how I wanted to monetize, I went from, okay, I'm going to do a community. So then, no, I'm going to do a service where it's like, I just go into your program and I speak for you, which I do now, but I wanted that to be my main thing. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, I want to build an app. Oh, wait, no, I want to do a journal. Wait, I want to do one-on-one coaching. Actually, I want to do a community. Actually, I want to do, and I was all over the place. So if you're not at the point of monetizing it, please do not stress yourself out about this. But I do want to say that you don't have to have a huge following to start monetizing. What you want to do is once you start picking up traction, throw up a digital product. Throw up an ebook so that way you can actively start making money even when you are small. I literally, when I first started, I had nothing up. I literally did not do anything. And all that time, I could have been making money. And I wish I did it, but you can't change what you didn't do in the past. So there's no point to dwell on it. And then we have a community. This is where you are teaching a certain topic to a group of people and you're getting people together, and the purpose in them investing in this is that they want to be around the people who are also in this community. And now in the community you can also teach different things, but it's a little bit different than a program, because in a program you're promising an outcome. In a community you're saying, hey, this is a group of people that I put together, you can pay this amount a month to be a part of it, and then boom. So these are all the different ways that you can start to monetize. And also, oh, services. I forgot one. This is if you actually are a business, or you already have a business where you go in and you work on something for someone else. You offer a service. And as I mentioned before, at first I was like, oh, I'm going to offer services for speaking to people, and that's how I'm going to monetize my personal brand. So it's totally up to you which one you want to pick. Again, please don't stress about it, but also don't wait till you have a bunch of followers to actually put together something that's going to be able to make you income. And now when I show all of these, I'm curious, like, which one resonates with you the most? Monetization path that you choose, you want to make sure this also lines up with the kind of lifestyle that you want to live. Because if you do one-on-one coaching, you are going to be a little bit more tied down when it comes to your time. Because if you have 10 clients, you're going to be on back-to-back calls all the time. But this is where you also want to ask yourself, what are the passions that you have? Because if you're passionate about working one-on-one with people, then that's a perfect opportunity for you. This is why in the beginning, we got clear on what you're passionate about, because it's also going to help you figure out how you're going to monetize your personal brand. Once you start monetizing and once you set up a product or service, one of the primary platforms that I use that has helped me grow my YouTube channel, help me get my free products out there, and help funnel people into my program or my one-on-one coaching at the time was ManyChat. I love ManyChat, and the awesome thing is that you could say, DM me this word and I'll send you this link. Comment this word and I will send you this link. And it's automatically tracking all the people who are interested in your work. And then it's going to help you when you start building out SMS or email listing and all of that fun stuff. But for all those topics, I think I'm gonna have to put together another video and even put together a video on how I even set up doing one-on-one coaching with people. Because even though I'm not doing that anymore, it was so fun and it was so awesome. But there were things that I did have to learn in order to do that. But that's going to be for another video topic. So now that we have gone through the 5 steps, which is getting clear on your values and passions, going through your lived inventory, picking your brand lane, going through content strategies, and finally monetization, you now have the steps to be able to take action towards creating a personal brand that's going to create you freedom. And now, if after I've said all these different things and I've walked you through all these different processes, if you're still thinking, this sounds really overwhelming, or maybe I've already tried to grow a personal brand, but for some reason I keep stopping. I keep hitting these roadblocks. I want to let you know that our inner world always creates our outer world. And now my expertise on what I typically talk about is understanding our mind, how we actually operate and what happens when we face these roadblocks, but also how to overcome them. That is why in 3 weeks, I'm going to be hosting a live training going over all of the mental stuff, but also going over everything that goes into building a personal brand. And I would absolutely love for you to be there. If you follow me on Instagram, on Creality, you will see soon I'm going to have the link so you can register to join, and I can't wait to see you there. And I also cannot wait to see you build your personal brand. This is the time to do it. Attention is the new form of currency. You want to gain attention and you want people to know about the amazing and awesome person that you are. The world deserves to get to know you, and you also deserve to gain the freedom that a personal brand can truly, truly create you. So with that being said, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, just put it in the captions and I'll answer any questions that you have, or you can message me on Instagram. And don't forget, I put together that free workbook that covers everything that we talked about with the pages that you can actually fill in so you can reflect back to it, and so it's not just sitting up on your mind and you feel overwhelmed by it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you soon. Mwah! Bye.